Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We are going to be doing a very requested video and it's on a palette that's already sold out, but hold tight because it is going to be restocked. So I decided to do this video anyway, but I do want to say major congratulations to Jaclyn Hill. She literally sold out in 45 minutes. That is incredible. I am team YouTube and I love it when creators have amazing successes like that. And this is a big one. We all know about this palette. And I think it's been no secret here on my channel that I definitely have gone very hard on Morphe products in general, and I don't have an affiliate. Now, I don't think it's a bad thing to have an affiliate, so I want to throw that out there as well. I'm not shading the people that make commission off of listing a product or having a discount code. The story ends there. I got my hands on the palette. I actually can say, and I love this moment in my brain so much, that I got to meet Jaclyn Hill at the Morphe launch party of this palette. She was the lady of the evening, so I met her in real life for the first time at that party, and then she gave me this palette, like she handed it to me herself, which was really, really cool and memorable. The funny part is I didn't have the amount of playtime to get acquainted with this palette because I wasn't on the PR list, and again, that's not God, I feel like I have to disclose or like give a story with everything. That's not me being like, everybody feel bad for me. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm just letting you guys know the time frame that I had to try out this palette and sit down and film a video might be different than what you've seen online. I could not make a video and post it before that launch party because I just didn't have the palette yet. So here's what the palette looks like. It is gorgeous. And I have to say, I didn't know that I would love this as much as I do. And I think that I was kind of going, gosh, how did they spend 2 years on this palette? Like, that seems like a really long time. And yes, it takes a long time to get colors correct. It takes a long time to really go through the process of getting the formula correct. And it can take a very long time. But in my brain, I was just like, but that's a really long time. And what I'm here to share with you guys is the big deal about it is she nailed every single color. This palette is through and through quality. There's not a shade in here that I don't like. I love it all. I think this is an excellent palette. Whether you are a Morphe fan or not, you're gonna absolutely fall in love with this. And you have everything you need to do a metallic look, a neutral look, a more cool tone look, something with a pop of color. Everything that you see on my eyes right here is all this palette. I did not use a single shadow from any other palette, not even under the brow bone, not even in a transition type of a situation. Like, everything that you see on my eyes today, which I love this look, is from this palette. So I think that the formula that they have done here is outrageously good. The price is right. I believe it's $38 or $39, and then you can use an affiliate's code to discount the palette even further. I don't have that code, but you know you can go to many videos here on YouTube or even Google it. We are going to go through the palette. I kind of wanted to swatch everything and talk to you guys about my favorites. I did actually take this with me to VidCon, so I've been playing with this puppy for a while, and also I have an extra palette. I am gonna be doing a giveaway, so one of you can get your hands on this palette that is really hard to come by right now because at the moment it is completely out of stock. So be sure to check the description box below if you wanna know how to enter to win this Jaclyn Hill palette. Okay, so let's go through top to bottom. We will start on the top row. So you have two lighter shades kind of vibing off of MAC Nylon. That's what this one reminds me of right here. It's what I used underneath my brow bone today on a teeny tiny little itty bitty brush just to get a little zhuzh of shine right there, which I personally think pulls a look together. So I love using those for brow bone highlight. Then we have over here a couple of very beautiful transition shades, just very soft. You don't want a transition shade like this to show up in a major way. You want to be able to fluff it out into the crease and have it kind of lay under and be the background for the center stage shades that go darker and deeper into the crease. And then we have this guy right here, which I love. This is like a MAC Nylon, but with a hint of pink. And I am wearing this on the inner portion of my lid today. And I actually put this on my cheeks as well. I will show you how easily you can do that. I'm just gonna take a fan brush in here and you can literally use this as your highlight. We have a darker pink Really pretty. I'm not pressing hard into these at all, and you can see they just swatch so effortlessly and gorgeously. So that top row is extremely neutral. You could do something very girly, very soft. Then we step down, and this shade right here, I'm obsessed. On the lower lash line, this will really kick off blue-green eyes. This is a beautiful shade to use as a background shade. You could definitely put this all over the lid as well. I mean, makeup has no rules. You do what you think is best for you. But I love that shade as kind of an accent and then to kick off colors around it. So it's a really fun shade that they have in there, but it's a very versatile shade. Next to that, we have a swatch that I just did twice. Focus. So that's this right here. Let me show you how they blend. This is a great warm toned matte shade. You guys know Jaclyn Hill, she loves her warm tones. You knew that those were gonna be in this palette. You go next door and there's a similar version to that shade, just a smidgen darker. You can see how nice these are. Look at how just nice that blends out. It's very soft. There's not a lot of kickback. There's not a lot of fallout. Then we have a shade that I actually haven't had a chance to wear on my eyes yet, but again, it has a different tone to it. And when you're working with browns, and especially warm toned browns, and you keep adding another color, another color, another color, and I've even seen this in Jaclyn's videos, it just makes everything look more blended and blown out versus just using one flat shade. Then we have a beautiful rust tone matte. Look at that. One swipe. I think that's amazing. Running out of arm space. All right, we have the same tone, but just metallic. Those two together, can you even imagine what you could come up with? Look at that. I'm gonna be using this for fall too. Okay, next to that we have a bronze shade that is probably one of my favorites in the palette because I personally prefer using this type of a shade versus like the real fiery warm tones. That's just me, that's what I like. Okay, then we have another shade that I love that is very, we're going back to this side, very taupey and shimmery. It has that almost like gray plummy undertone, so that's definitely a beautiful cool tone. Next to that we have something that's coming out a little more pinky bronze, but you could definitely pair this with something cool tone, something warm tone. It's one of those versatile shades. Then we go back to something a little bit more warm. Can you even get over how many beautiful colors you get in this palette? Okay, then we have more mattes. We have this one. We have a more red toned one. This is not the part of the journey that I'm that excited about because these aren't my colors, but I can still appreciate them. My swatch game is like dying right now. I just have too much makeup everywhere at this point. Like, how can anyone hate on this palette? You really can't. Look at that. Yes. Now we get into the corner of fun. This is like this whole palette has its own vibe, and then like all the really interesting people are like down over in the corner hanging out together. So we have this really beautiful purple, which is what is on my lid right now. Look at that. That's a hard color to do. They are almost always patchy. There's almost always a problem. Look at my eyes. Are you joking me? This competes with an Ardency In shadow that I have that was like $23, $24 for just one single shadow. And that has been my favorite purple, royal purple shadow for the longest time. This is pretty much a dupe. Next to it, I haven't worn this shade, but I keep seeing everybody use this in all the tutorials. This is like the color that everybody wants to use. And of course I have unique-itis, so I was like, no, not me, I'm different. So then next to that, we have another taupe shade. Yes, look at that. I mean, it's pretty. I think I like this taupey shade up a row a little bit more. It's like just a little bit brighter. Next to that, we have a gorgeous bronze. Ooh. Next to that, we have this amazing deep chocolate shade. Oh my God, this one, when light kicks it, all the micro glitter literally does this. It's just like the prettiest thing. I showed this on Snapchat and I had my light on my phone and you could literally it just came to life more than any of the other shadows in here. Then we have a gorgeous, super smooth, look how smooth that is. Oh my God. It's like Natasha Denona status, smoothness in a shadow. And then we have one right next door. This is not as smooth as that last one, but it's still very, very beautiful. This one is like butter. Moving down to the final row, we have this gorgeous turquoise shade. Bam. Doesn't that just kind of blow your mind? And then we have a matte turquoise. This also, to the touch, you literally put your finger in there and you're like, ooh, smooth. Really, really nicely done. We're gonna go back to the other side of my arm. We have this stunning, oh, look at that. I grabbed too much of it. The metallic shadows do have almost a wet feeling. You do not want to over grab the product. Trust that you are grabbing enough. You don't need to dig into the palette. You don't need to like scrape in with your brush. You're gonna grab enough. If you want to intensify it and kind of cream it out and smooth it out, use a little Fix Plus. You will do that very easily. Look how pretty that is. It's like a forest green. You have everything in here. I never need to buy a palette again, actually. That one's a little, you gotta blend that one a little bit, but dang, it's still really pretty. Next to it, we're getting to the territory of like what you could use as a liner or what you would use just on the outer edge of your eye. And finally, grand finale, we have a black. Bam. You can set your eyeliner with that. You could make it eyeliner if you used a mixing liquid. You could do a lot with it. So, Jaclyn, home run. That's the Jaclyn Hill palette. You guys really wanted to see swatches. You wanted to hear what I thought of it, having played with it for a while. Because if you follow me on Snapchat, I have shown it off quite a bit. I've shown you guys that I've been using it, trying it, testing it, and I've had it for what, like 10 days or something like that? A little over a week maybe. And I quickly fell in love. Congrats on this really killer palette. It's beautiful. I will keep using it 100%. And let me know, you guys, do you want an actual tutorial with this, or is that too much? Have you seen enough? I know a ton of them are floating around here on YouTube. Just let me know in the comments below if you want me to do a look maybe similar to this or something more neutral. Leave your requests. And again, check out the description box on how to enter to win a palette for you, because one person will be getting one very soon. I'll keep the giveaway open for 1 week only, and that's about that. I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah.